What's up YouTube and welcome to the Chaos Monthly. Yeah, we're going to do this monthly now. Doing it daily, weekly just didn't make sense. I need to focus on more other things. Well, we'll see how it goes. So we'll do an episode once a month and I'll give you guys an update on what's going on. So this month, we're going to start off the month with some pretty sad news. The monogol, it's still waiting. It's still delayed. The receiver has not arrived yet. I've been waiting. And waiting, and it still hasn't arrived. I've looked online. It should be arriving this week. Fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. But some good news. Chitubox reached out to me and said, hey, you do some cool stuff. Would you like to try Chitubox Pro? So I was like, hell yeah, I'd like to try Chitubox Pro. It looks really good. I've been looking at a lot of the features that you guys got in there and I'd really like it. So send it to me. So they sent me a year's subscription of Chitubox and I'm going to try the hell out of it. I've played around with it a little bit so far and it's impressive. I gotta say, it is impressive. Who and ha going online, especially from like the 3D printing crowd on Facebook, and Uncle Jesse's a little bit like, about the price, and I totally agree. $170 an annual subscription is a bit of a tall order, but from looking at the software and what it offers and the kind of people that would be using it to use those features, I think $170 is actually a very fair price. The features that are in there are more catered for people that do printing on a regular basis, that do a lot of printing, they do complex prints, large build volumes, lots of models, and they need very specific settings and stuff. From what I've seen in there so far, just from the little bit of testing I've done, it's actually going to help my printing out a lot. This new project that I'm doing for the RX-79 Gundam, where I'm going to be printing hundreds of parts, lots of complicated stuff, making sure that the settings are right for different parts, for different stages of the build. Oh, so many cool settings. So I can show you guys what I'm seeing, and so far it's incredible. But it's not going to be for everyone. But the good news is Chitubox is coming out with a new version of their basic version, which is 1.91. It's going to have a lot of the new features coming in for the new printers. There was some confusion about some of the printers, like the new 8K, the Mega 8K printer that is apparently exclusive for Chitubox Pro. This is not true. It just won't work with the current version of Chitubox Basic. The new version of 1.9.1 will have the additional features in there because there's a lot of different firmware side things. I've been talking to Chitubox about this, I've been talking to Siraya and Peopoly about this. There's a lot of firmware stuff in the electronics of the printers, in the new printers, the new generation of screen control chips and boards. There's a lot of new stuff in there that the old version of Chitubox Basic didn't handle, but the new version does handle it. So hopefully we'll see these printer manufacturers updating their websites to say, hey, yes, you can use the free version of these software for these printers. A lot of it is to do with the motion control for the print bed. Dual stage motion control, or as Chitubox calls it, TSMC, two-stage motion control. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff going on there. As you guys can see, I've been trying out some new resins. I asked Siraya to send me over some of their resins that they've updated on the Australian page. If you live in Australia and you want some really good resin to use, I highly recommend going and checking Siraya out. Their resins are fantastic, and not just because they send me resin for free. I have not had issues with this resin. I've done all sorts of crazy shit with this resin. I've printed RC planes with this resin. I endorse this resin for a reason. It is good, and I haven't tried many other resins, so you can say, hey, I'm a bit biased, but you can also say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So yeah, trying out the creamy resin and the new navy gray. These are amazing. I love them. Did a whole bunch of printing, some new models there, some stuff there. I'm going to be doing a video on my other channel specifically about these resins and my thoughts and how they printed, and getting really into the nitty gritty about these resins. So look forward to that on the other channel sometime this week. I'm going to try and work on that and really actually get something done on the other channel instead of just talking about it. So yeah, I took a bit of a break for about a month. I haven't even touched CAD software or anything. I just needed to take a break, think about stuff, work some stuff out, and sort of treat myself. I purchased a couple of models from this really awesome 3D artist that goes by Ritual Casting. I'll put a link in the description. Really fantastic models. Printed these, trying them out with the new resins that I got from Siraya to test them out. You can see here the navy gray for the base. I kept this, I haven't painted this, so you can see this beautiful matte finish that you get from this navy gray. The rest of it I painted up. Working with these resins, I really loved it. These models are fantastic. Again, link in the description. And yeah, so that pretty much covers it for this month. Again, look out for some videos coming out on the other channel. I'm going to to be looking at these resins in particular, talking about my thoughts, what I've found, some issues with some of them that are commonly known issues. There's a couple of guys on Twitter that have also been trying this resin out, and they also found the same issues. It's to do with temperature and pigment, sediment, fallout and stuff. It's sciencey, complicated stuff. I'll try and walk you all through it. And I'm also going to be looking at doing a video on water curing. Water curing is a myth, and I'm going to debunk the hell out of it because it doesn't make any goddamn sense. You put parts in water in a container and then put it in UV or in the sunlight and it cures faster? No, this is not how physics works. And I'm going to prove it to you, and I'm going to explain why people got the impression that it does work this way, and why it was misleading the original videos that are up on YouTube, why somebody cherry-picked information out of a white paper that was discussing something entirely unrelated, and how the conclusions he drew from that paper make no goddamn sense when it comes to resin printing, oxidization of resin polymers, as well as light refraction through water, as well as we're going to be diving into wavelengths of UV light. This chamber has 405 nanometer UV LEDs, but they do not produce 405 nanometers of UV light only. They are LEDs. They produce different peaks of spectra in a number of wavelengths. They do not purely just pump out one narrow band of spectra. That's not how LEDs work. Anyone who thinks that they buy LEDs that say they are this spectrum and get only this spectrum have no idea. And we'll be talking more about that and talking about how the difference in spectra of UV light, it doesn't make a difference in curing resin. There's very little difference. It's to do with power output of the photons hitting the photoinitiators in the resin chemical. So yeah, more on that in the other channel. That's going to be either one big long video or a series of videos explaining how the science behind resin printing works and why water curing is a myth and it doesn't actually work and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, we'll leave it there for this month's episode. Probably a couple more episodes on this channel just on random stuff through the rest of the month. And next month we'll see, I don't know, I want to focus on the other channel and start getting some stuff out there. As always, I've been Chaos, and until next time, expect the unexpected. And I will see you guys later.